Hey everyone. I don't know if this is true for you guys, but I feel like for me, 2020 has just been like the weirdest distortion of time. Some weeks will feel like a year, and several months will feel like a week. That's been my last few months. Like, I feel like I'm just in a time warp. And so I thought I would come up and update you guys from like the last few years of like the last 2020. First, I'll show everyone the earrings that I'm wearing. These are from Luisa. Here are the 3 pairs that I got. I had been wearing these ones for like the entire week, and then yesterday I switched it up to these ones. We are all becoming smarter consumers. We want to know that the brands that we're purchasing from are trying to do a good job at making the world a better place and not harming the world or our environment or people or anyone. Luisa does a really good job of that. Luisa is carbon neutral. We offset 100% of our carbon emissions, starting with the sourcing of our raw materials all the way to the disposal of our pieces. We give back for everything we take. Think of it as fair trade with Mother Nature. I believe they use recycled gold, and so you get luxury pieces starting as low as $39. I have the larger pair of this, which you can wear as hoops, or I really wanted the smaller version of this because I feel like it's just so much more casual, where this one's just kind of like, it's not casual. These ones are actually, I think these ones are my favorite. They add like a nice little sparkle to your ear while being like just very casual, very everyday. This is the last pair. I was thinking like hoop vibes, but angular. That's kind of what I think they do. I like them. Right now, Luisa is having a Black Friday sale, and you can use the code Annemarie_BF. Links will be in the description for discounts off of their jewelry for Black Friday. So now I'm gonna update everyone on my life as of last year's. First of all, I did get a haircut. My bangs are a little asymmetrical, I think. So we're just gonna put them over there. A few things that a lot of people have been asking me about recently. First of all, am I still doing coding school, coding bootcamp? And my answer is no. I have reasons. I mean, I have good reason, but the thing with YouTube is, although it is asynchronous communication, like it's me telling you something, like I have the ability to edit every single thing in this video, to make little jump cuts, you know, shrink the size and like emphasize certain things, all of that stuff I have the power to do. But in my editing, I found I will find the story in my editing. So I'll talk like this much, and then I'll watch it over and be like, oh, like this I kind of like, this I kind of like, you know, just breaking it down piece by piece by different things, instead of purposefully being like, no, this is what I meant to say. And I think the best way to do that is with writing, because if I'm then reading it and I'm like, this isn't really related to the message that I want to, you know, say, I can erase it and then add what I meant to say. Where in editing a video, I'm saying everything right now in this moment. So if I have a thought when I'm editing, I have to like, you know, set up my entire camera. It's just not as efficient. So I'm going to answer this question of like why I quit my coding bootcamp in a blog post, but it's also going to be after I talk to one of my closest friends that I made in the bootcamp. We were both in it together. We were both pretty much at the exact same page, and we both, I think she's withdrawing this week, or she's in the process of withdrawing. And the crazy thing is, she owes double the amount that I do. Well, I think it really, really works for some people, and it just really, really doesn't with other people. And it could be circumstantial. Like, that's partially the reason why I'm leaving. I've been wanting to write this for a really long time. I think I'm a little scared. I think I'm meant to do it, and this is like kind of public accountability too. I get messages about it on a regular basis. Before I joined, I really tried searching up this topic, and it just wasn't available on the internet. So I think it'd be useful and a good perspective to consider. So that's gonna come soon, but I'll just go into all of that later, even though I just went into it a lot now. Corona in Alaska. I'm in Anchorage, Alaska. I still live in my parents' house. That's another question I've been getting. I was considering and hoping and trying to move in somewhere mid-September, which again, I feel like that felt like a lifetime ago. But in mid-September, I tried moving in to this place. It was in like my old neighborhood, and I was very certain that my parents would be leaving Alaska very soon. And that has not been the case. So as long as they are here and in this condo and in their home, I am going to be here until they leave or need me to leave. But the situation just really aligned in September where I was like, oh, if I have to leave eventually, like this is the ideal scenario, but that did not work out. So I'm still where I have been. And I even put up these little fairy lights because I freaking love fairy lights. Who doesn't? COVID cases have skyrocketed in Anchorage. It's kind of crazy. I think we've had 700. It jumped from like 500 to 700 within a day. And we're just going to be inside for a really long time. These are only $20. I'll link them below, but I think I'm going to be able to stay here for like a little while. A few of you have asked me why I don't just rent this place from my parents. I actually want to do a video of like showing you all how much YouTube pays me, even over the lifetime of my channel. I think that some people think that it's even possible for me to make a living off of YouTube, and it's just not. And I want to be like very transparent about that because I don't want to try to pretend that doing whatever I'm doing is getting me a living, because it's not. And it's different for every YouTuber. Like if you're in fashion, that has kind of like a lot more money behind it, whereas I just talk about like nothing pretty much that I can sell to an audience. That is my living situation. Those are pretty much all of the things that I remembered to address right now, but I'm sure that I'll think of some more. So that's gonna be it for now. Hello. We're gonna find a good spot to film. Okay, hey guys. So continuing my updates. As I talk through this video, keep note of what interests you or what sounds interesting to you, because I'm gonna need your guys' help to decide which video that I should do next. I mentioned this once and so many people always like comment or message me about it. A ghost viewer is like just someone who has continuously watched but just never comments, and it's totally fine. I'm a ghost viewer most of the time, but getting feedback is always helpful because it kind of reveals what kind of person and what kind of understanding your audience has and interested in hearing about. So right now I'm outside, and it's really interesting because I think I used to be kind of scared of just the thought of like going outside by myself. So I would never do it. And then the pandemic of 2020 came, and I really just needed a way to exercise. And so I started running outside, and it was kind of horrible at first because I didn't know how to breathe. I think yoga really helped me understand how to breathe, so running became a lot more fun. Since the start of the pandemic, I downloaded Strava, and I have officially, as of yesterday, run 100 miles this year. My friend Oyen runs 100 miles in a month, but for someone who did not run at all in like the last 5 years, that's a lot to me. So I'm proud of myself. And then after going on runs, which only lasted like 20 minutes, I just did 2 miles at a time, I was like, why don't I start going on walks more? And let me tell you, starting to go on walks outside and then continuing them through winter has increased my happiness level immensely. And on the topic of health and wellness, after my sober October, I had such a positive experience. I've pretty much settled on the idea of doing a sober 25. So I'm 24 right now, and January 5th of next year, I turn 25. And partially the reason for that is like I just feel like I have a lot of things that I want to do. My bangs are just gonna exist there. And I feel like I don't have that much time to do them. Like, I'm already 24, and if I want to have like a family and stuff, I kind of want to have a family in my 30s. I want to make the most of that short amount of time, me time / my career time. I don't think I have like a huge problem, but I'm just like, if I'm like into something, I'm really into it. And I do it every day, and I incorporate it into my everyday life and like habits, and I look forward to it every day. So it is not net positive. So sober 25 should be fun. people are wondering what I'm doing with Alaska Friends. It's crazy because with my Alaska Friends videos specifically, it's been really interesting because now that I have gotten like the award, I've gotten a new lens and I got this little $25 mic that I hope works well. It's the first time I've ever trying to use it. And now I'm just like, okay, I need to get started on Alaska Friends content. And the crazy thing is, Alaska Friends content just comes to me. Like, people will reach out to me. Like, friends have started to be like, wow, this would be a cool video idea. And so I really just need to show up with my gear and then just be ready to, like, you know, listen. So I'm excited to make my Alaska Friends content like kind of the most. And it's actually not doing horribly on my channel. Like, I kind of thought that these Alaska videos would get like 1,000 to 2,000 views, because even though I have like 130,000 subscribers, sometimes it'd be like that. My absolute lowest end is like 1,000 to 2,000, which is pretty bad. That's what I was expecting my Alaska videos to do, but they've all gotten at least like 4,000, which is not horrible, especially for how little and how infrequently I post. Another thing that I'm trying to do really hard is I really want to start writing publicly and also developing my journaling workshop. I really think that mental health will significantly decline 2020 and probably onwards. I think this pandemic will have lasting effects, and I think a lot of people are really lonely right now and lack a sense of community, but I kind of think that that is also something that I could very much develop and that I think is like super needed right now. And so I thought I would create a brand called Journaling Workshop, and so far I've led 2 courses, and I just think everyone could benefit from journaling. And that's definitely something that I'm like super passionate about. And then the last thing is I'm trying to publicly write more. So I'm really like trying to force myself to tweet, or I kind of just want to start like blogging on my blog. But the only thing is like I have to set that up, and that's like a whole nother thing where I'm like, oh, do I have the time to be like dedicated to doing this? But it's also kind of crazy because I have the domain name unemployedmillennial.com, and I was using Webflow to host like 2 blog posts that were literally just old essays. It was definitely catalyzed by this pandemic, but my website was getting 60,000 views and it said like 7,000 to 9,000 unique views. And I don't know anything about the blogging world because I don't blog, but I don't even get that many views on my YouTube channel. So I think that's also like an area that I could develop. So those are pretty much all of my updates. I'm wearing my favorite Ana Luisa little dainty earrings. Again, they're having a Black Friday sale, and you can use my link, it'll be in the description below, or the code, I believe, AnnemarieBF, to get discounts off of Black Friday. I hope this was somewhat interesting. Don't forget to comment down below and let me know what conversation or topic interests you most so that I can make my next video on that topic first. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Bye!